What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Nick Driver Podcast. I'm here today with my friend
Julia.
So what's up? How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
That's good. So we're going to talk about your experience going to WrestleMania.
Yes.
WrestleMania Trente Quattro. That's the wrong way to say it.
I'm not sure, to be honest.
WrestleMania, was it 34?
Yeah.
So what was it like, okay, first off, how much were tickets?
So I actually ended up getting a travel package that WWE puts out, and it can include your tickets for however many shows you want to go to.
Okay.
Includes your hotel. And I was supposed to go with somebody else. That's a long story. But I was supposed to go with somebody else. So for basically 4 days worth of events, the hotel, and 2 days at Access, it cost about a little over $3,000 for two people.
So $3,000 for how many people?
For two.
For two.
Mm-hmm.
So you're looking at about, what, $1,500 for one person? Okay. I mean, that's pretty good though. You get to see all the, you know what I'm saying? It's like, but that's kind of like WrestleMania is like the Super Bowl of like wrestling.
It is.
You know, it's like
It's huge.
Yeah. It's like the Super Bowl or the NBA playoffs or, you know, like, what is it?
What is it? Home Run Derby for base? Oh no, World Series. For
World
base
Series. It's the
yeah.
World Series, man. World Series. We'll go there. We'll go World Series, but I agree with that. So you went to 34,
Yes.
and it was in New Orleans.
Yes.
Okay. So tell me about it. Did you get to hang out any in New Orleans?
I wish I could say I did, but I honestly didn't even have time because you're going to like events literally the whole entire time you're there, and by the time you're done with whichever show you went to at nighttime, it's probably like close to midnight. By the time you get back to your hotel, and you got to be up early.
Now you said show. So was there multiple shows involved with going to WrestleMania, or was it one event? Like what was going on?
Well, my first night there, I actually went to the Hall of Fame ceremony.
Okay.
That WWE does.
Who got inducted?
So that year, Ivory got inducted. Do you remember Ivory?
I do.
She got inducted. Goldberg.
Really?
Yeah.
Goldberg got inducted?
Goldberg got inducted.
Goldberg's the man. Goldberg's awesome, man.
Gosh, Hacksaw Jim Duggan. He talks
Hacksaw,
forever.
that's my man.
Kid Rock actually was like their celebrity inductee that year.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, Kid Rock would do some shit like that. like Kid Rock would. Like, no, I don't mean shit in a negative way, but Kid Rock would definitely be like, yo, I'm getting this wrestling.
Yeah, like he literally walked on stage, accepted like, you know, I guess the Hall of Fame like ring that they give him or whatever, and he's like, thanks for this, guys, peace out. And
That's
left.
cool though. That's cool though.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Mark Henry also got inducted.
Mark Henry's the man.
Yeah.
Is he still alive?
Sexual Chocolate.
Yeah, sexual chocolate. Is Sexual Chocolate still alive?
He is, but I think he's more behind the scenes now.
Or behind the Golden Corral buffet? You know what I'm saying? Like that dude's amazing. I love him, man. That dude was awesome. So when you were there, like, and this is just random, but did you buy like parking passes in order to get, like, okay, so you go down, did you fly down there?
I did.
Okay, so you flew down to New Orleans for WrestleMania 34.
Yes.
So then you get there, you had your hotel room.
Yes.
Is that part of the package?
It was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. See, when you start adding those things into it, it makes sense.
It does. I mean, it's worth it to get the package.
Yeah. Did you have any meet and greets?
I did.
Who'd you meet and greet?
I got to meet Kevin Nash.
Oh man, he's a beast.
He was like the one person.
Diesel.
Yeah, he was the one person I stood in line to meet.
Yeah, he's pretty killer.
Yeah.
So, did you meet Scott Hall?
No, I was really hoping that like he would have a booth set up, but the 2 days that I had, because they give you 2 days worth of access tickets, is what they call it. So you can like do your meet and greets. They have the Hell in the Cell cage that you can go like stand in it.
Did you meet Mankind?
I did, but I actually met him not at WrestleMania. I met him at SuperCon in Raleigh last summer.
Yo, he's the man.
He's so awesome.
Okay, so Mankind. Okay, I'm sorry, I can't get off topic. We're talking about WrestleMania. I'm sorry, I'm getting excited. It's been a while since I had met someone that liked wrestling.
Yeah.
You know, that as much you love it.
Yeah, I do.
You love it. And I used to love it in the 80s and 90s. And I still watch it sometimes. I knew you were coming on a podcast, so I started watching it a little bit this past couple weeks, and I was like, Yeah, I mean, they're still really good. And these guys, I feel like, though, the heavyweight division is, like, smaller. I feel like the guys are smaller.
It is.
We just have Hulk Hogan and, like, Lex Luger and, like, these giant guys.
So I always called those guys, like, Vince McMahon guys. Because Vince McMahon likes, it sounds weird to say this, but he likes big guys. He likes his blondes and
That's
big
hilarious.
guys. But
Vince McMahon likes big guys.
but you don't really see like that anymore because I mean I guess in a sense he's not really the only one that's picking the wrestlers to like sign them. Like Triple H is involved in that.
Okay. Triple H is a big guy.
Yeah.
Triple H is pretty thick dude. But Jeff Hardy, like, have you met Jeff Hardy?
No, I want to so bad.
Yeah, Jeff Hardy. I mean, he's a pretty good sized dude. He don't look like it on TV, but he's a pretty good sized guy. So when you were at WrestleMania, like, could you see everything pretty good, or were you in like the nosebleed section? Like when I go to basketball games, sometimes I go see the Charlotte Hornets play, which is horrible. Hornets, come on, man, step your game up. But anyways, like I always get tickets. But then I'm like up in the top. But I always go to playoff game. If they make the playoffs, I go to it. But I'm always like up in the, and I'm like, man, I can't even really see what's happening. Is it like that at WrestleMania or not?
I mean, no, because if you're paying for the travel package, like WWE hooks you up.
Okay.
Like I had really good seats for every event that I went to that weekend.
So, like, let's say someone doesn't want to do the travel package, but they want to just go to the actual event. Like, how much is just like the ticket to go to WrestleMania, something like that?
I mean, I guess it kind of depends where you're wanting to sit. Definitely if you're like on the floor, you're paying
Right.
minimum 500.
Really?
Oh yeah,
Wow.
minimum.
Minimum. Like
Yeah.
minimum. You're like minimum.
But at the same time, those people that sit on the floor, they get that cool like memorabilia chair.
Did he get to keep it?
Yeah, I
that's
saw
pretty
people
cool.
walking back to the hotel with the chairs on their back.
That's pretty.
I was so jealous.
That's pretty badass. That's pretty badass. That's pretty badass.
Yeah.
So we were looking at some of the matches, and me and you were talking a little bit beforehand. So, was your favorite match? Did you have a favorite match that night?
Yeah, there was probably two actually. I really liked Ronda Rousey's match because that was like her debut in WWE, so that was cool to be there for it. And then definitely John Cena versus Undertaker, which that was kind of like a surprise. Like you didn't know if it was gonna happen or not, like leading up to WrestleMania.
So why did you think it wasn't gonna happen? Like was that just like an industry thing, or what was going on with it?
So, like a couple weeks leading up to WrestleMania, like on Raw and Smackdown, John Cena was going out there calling out Undertaker. He was like, "We have never wrestled at WrestleMania. Like, give me this match.
Right.
Like, you're not retired. Blah blah blah." And Undertaker never responded. So it was kind of that point. Like, I guess we're not gonna get that at WrestleMania. But John Cena ended up wrestling this guy named Elias. And that ended in like 2 seconds.
Really?
And then when John Cena's like walking back up the ramp, all of a sudden you see some smoke pouring out.
Here he comes, man. It's like,
Yep. And you know what's gonna happen. Once you see the smoke pouring, you're like, oh no, we are getting Undertaker.
Yeah. You don't call the Undertaker out, man. It's kind
Right.
of like being a rapper and calling out like Eminem.
Right.
Like you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Like you don't call the Undertaker out.
Yeah.
Did John Cena win?
No, he lost.
Of course you're gonna lose. It's the Undertaker.
You're right.
It's the Undertaker, man.
But nothing was better like than hearing that like dong sound.
Yeah.
Like and then
That
his
dong
like,
sound,
and then
huh?
like the whole arena went like purple.
Right.
Like,
It is
was
though.
awesome.
It's that like boom.
Yeah.
You know, and you're like. I never thought of it, but you're right. It is a dong sound.
Yeah.
It just sounds funny saying that.
It
you know.
does.
But that's hilarious. So how many days and like nights were you down there for this event?
I was there 5 nights or how long was I there for? I got there Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and I left that Tuesday. So I was
Wow.
there 4 nights, 5 days.
Man, you were wilding out. You were having fun.
I had so much fun.
That's crazy. Did you see any of the like other wrestlers like in the crowd or anything?
Actually, when I was walking back from like the Smoothie King Center and whatnot, like after the events, going to my hotel, I saw a lot of them on the street, like on Canal Street.
Okay.
Just walking back to their hotels. So I could just be like, hey, like such and such, can I get a picture? And they'll be like, yeah. And
That's
then
cool,
Take
man.
a picture on the street right there with them.
That's cool. That's cool. And you guys were in like New Orleans hanging out, chilling like this. Wow. That had to be fun, man.
It was so much fun.
Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns that night, right?
Yeah.
I mean, what are you thinking? What are you thinking? I ain't gonna say nothing, man. But I mean, I like Roman. Okay. But Brock Lesnar, man. Come on, man. He's from like UFC.
Yeah. I mean, he started off in wrestling, but he did go to UFC.
So he started off in wrestling.
Yeah, he was like in college wrestling.
Okay, and I might have to check it, but I'm pretty sure I saw him fight a couple matches in UFC.
Oh no, he did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he did.
So tell me about that main event. And the beach balls thing you were telling me about.
Okay, the main event. Me personally, I'm not a Brock Lesnar fan, and I think, some people might want to make fun of me for getting into it, but I think him as like a champion is horrible because he's never there. To me, like you want to show the belt on TV, give it some value, and he doesn't. So the belt holds no value, and then it's at WrestleMania versus somebody who we saw the year previously in the main event.
Right.
It just wasn't. We just knew, all of us fans, it wasn't going to be good. So what a couple of fans did is they snuck in.
This is hilarious, by the way. I love this. I'm sorry, man. I had to get you to tell this. This is hilarious. Now, this girl is at WrestleMania, and this is what they're feeling about the main event. I love this. This is a great story. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
You're fine. So what a lot of fans did is they actually snuck in beach balls, like deflated beach balls. And once that main event started, all of a sudden you just saw people blowing them up and just hitting them in the crowd.
Wow.
And so we were all, kind of focused on that more than the match. And every time a security guard would take one away, we're like, delete, like Matt Hardy's thing, like, get out of here.
That's awesome.
Nobody was watching that match. And I'm pretty sure if anybody went back and watched that main event, you would hear all of us in the background in the crowd.
I believe it. I believe it 100%. I believe it 100%.
Yeah.
Dude, that is funny. So when you were there, did you have okay. So when you were there, you said Ronda Rousey. That was her like debut.
Yeah.
Like, is this after she had lost in the UFC and she went? Okay. That did a number on her, like mentally.
Yeah, I mean, I think. In my personal opinion, I think she held herself like so high on this pedestal and didn't think anybody could touch her. And then she got a little too... Somebody knocked her out. Someone knocked her out, but I think that really did a damage on her ego. And I think for somebody like her, who to me, she comes off as a perfectionist, she, took her ball and went home and left.
Yeah. So, have you been to any of the, because they do Monday night tapings, do they still do like the Thursday night?
Smackdown? Yeah, I've actually
Have you been to a couple of those?
I have in Raleigh.
Okay, so what's the difference in, is it going to like, I would think going to WrestleMania is like going to a playoff game.
Yeah.
And then going to like Nitro, is it Nitro still?
Well, Monday is Monday Night Raw.
Monday Night Raw, sorry.
Now it's SmackDown's on Tuesdays, so they call it SmackDown Live.
So going to one of those is more like a regular season game.
Yeah.
Okay. That's cool. So did the big guys still come out? Like, did the real popular dudes still come out at those events?
Oh yeah. I mean, I've been to house shows also, ones that like aren't taped, and you will see them there as well, but to me it's like more exciting if it's like a taped, like televised show, because like some shit's gonna go down.
Something's gonna happen.
Yes,
like if it's like a house show, you like, there ain't nothing too crazy gonna go on. Like, I mean, somebody might get slammed, but that's about it.
And you may like see a move that they're not allowed to do on TV, but they're still fun. They're just nothing like, there's not gonna be a title change or nothing.
Gotcha.
Gotcha.
So we talked a little bit about your WrestleMania experience. So, I mean, you were talking a little bit. Top 5.
Yeah.
Top 5. Your top 5 favorite wrestlers. You want to go 5, 5, 4, 4, 3, 3, 2, 2, 1, 1?
Yeah.
You want to start or you want me to start?
You start.
right, I know it's not popular to say, but my number 5. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I got a tie. Can I have a tie for number 5?
I guess.
Is that okay?
Yeah. Why not?
I know it sounds bad, but I thought Chris Benoit was amazing. Like, I hate the way his life ended.
Yeah.
You know, and that's some shit right there.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I also look at that too. Like, football players get hit constantly. Mm-hmm. You get hit constantly in the head. You're gonna have some kind of something just don't set somebody off at that age.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So something was going on. But Chris Benoit / Rey Mysterio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love me some Rey.
Who's your top 5?
My 5 is
number
Macho Man. Oh yeah.
He's on my. If we we'll do it another time. But he's on my top 5 influential.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but Macho Man. Yeah, Macho Man. Like
I
Slim Jim.
Yeah.
Slap into a Slim Jim. Oh yeah. Like, that's my man, dude.
Yep.
Yeah, I gotta go with my number 4, Diamond Dallas Page.
I met him.
Is he tall in real life?
He is.
He looks like he's about 6'5", 6'6".
He's really tall, and to be honest, when I met him, I had said something to him that he didn't like. Nothing that was offensive.
Did you talk about his yoga?
No.
You're like, oh, I hate yoga.
No.
And he's like, F you.
I had said something. It was actually about myself.
Okay.
That he didn't like, and he pulled me aside and legit gave me like a 10-minute like motivational speech about how I needed to change my mindset, because I had said something along the lines of, if I didn't have bad luck, I wouldn't have any luck. And he
didn't like that mindset.
No.
DDP don't like that, man.
He like even touched me in my forehead and said, "Get that out of your head." And I was like, "Yes, Mr. DDP." Like,
I'm sorry, Mr. Diamond.
I'm sorry, Mr. Page.
So, yeah, exactly. You know, I loved him because he would win, but he also lost a lot of matches. But the crazy thing about Diamond Dallas Page is, and I look back at it now, this dude was wrestling in blue jeans.
Yeah.
Were they like
cowboy boots?
Were they like stretch jeans? Were stretch jeans
probably
even a
were
thing?
to
You
a
think
sense.
so?
They're probably like a material, like
they might not have been. We need to go back and look at the tapes.
Right.
But
if
if it wasn't, that's impressive.
Right.
But I would go with it. Maybe it was loose spandex.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, I was gonna say,
you're the wrestling expert.
I was gonna say, like, you know how there's jeggings? It was probably something along those lines, like a material that looks like they're jeans, but enough so he can like move around.
I got you. You're number 3.
My number 3 is wait, did I say my number 4? I didn't.
Who? Oh yeah, you didn't.
Mine is Razor Ramon.
Ah, you didn't say
number
number
4.
4. Yeah, so right. Oh man.
Yeah.
Razor Ramon. Yeah.
He made it cool to be the bad guy. He was the bad guy that everybody liked.
He's like the Joker.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody likes the Joker, man. He's a bad guy. Everybody's like, yeah, that dude's the shit.
Yeah. My favorite thing was him always walking out with the toothpick in his mouth and he
throws it at people. That was hilarious.
Yeah. Be like, I'll clear the table for you. And like push everything off the table.
That's so cool, man. He's a cool guy. My number 3 is a dude from the 90s. He was in ECW.
ECW?
Yeah, and then he ended up going, but Raven.
Oh, okay.
Raven was like one of my favorites because he was like grungy. He's like the rock dude.
Yeah.
He was like, nevermore. Drops the mic. You know, he had the DDT.
Yeah.
You know, he did. So, who's your number 3?
My number 3 is actually the one and only Stone Cold.
Oh, man. It's hard to beat that guy.
It is.
I listen to his podcast sometimes.
I like his podcast. He actually has a show now on USA. It's Straight Up Steve Austin.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. You should check it out.
Yeah, he's a Stone Cold, man. Drinking beer, man. Wilding out.
Nothing compares to Stone Cold.
My number 2 is Ultimate Warrior. Because he did such crazy interviews.
Yeah.
And he had like I don't know, it's just like you look at him and you're like, yo, this guy's nuts. Mm-hmm. But he was cool. Like, it was cool to be like outside the box. Like, he made people that felt like they didn't belong in a clique.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I'm sure you got more to say about it. I mean, I've seen your tattoo.
Yeah.
That's probably gonna be our thumbnail for this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah. Who's your number 2?
My number 2 is actually a female wrestler, and that's Lita.
Nah, Lita's badass.
I met Lita, and she was like seriously one of the coolest people I've ever met. She was so nice. And not to mention, I mean, she is, like you said, badass. Like,
She is badass.
she did a lot of stuff in the ring that, I mean, she wrestled dudes, you know?
She did.
She wrestled with the dudes.
Didn't she? Who was the stable she was with for a little bit?
Team Extreme.
Was it
The
them?
Hardy Boys and her.
I thought it was the Hardy Boys.
Yeah.
Now there was a Sable.
Sable and
Do you remember
Mark
her?
Marrow. Yeah.
She's not in my top, but I just
She's married to Brock.
She was in Playboy magazine.
I believe that.
If I'm not mistaken. But I mean, we'll check it. We'll check it when I'm.
I mean,
off,
I don't doubt that. The woman went on stage with black handprints on her boobs.
She did. She was violent out.
Yeah.
She was violent out. Number one, and you're gonna probably laugh at me and be like, "Who is that?" But my number one, no, you'll know who this is. Maybe
Yeah.
he wasn't there super long, and we're just talking about wrestling in general. Mm-hmm. Ultimo Dragon. I know you probably don't remember him.
I know the name, but
He
I
was
don't
the
remember.
Japanese. He was like a luchador
Okay.
from Japan, and he would beat all of them. He
Yeah.
beat like all of them constantly. Constantly had like the cruiserweight championship. That was my man. Like Ultimo Dragon, man. Who's your number one?
My number one's Ultimate Warrior. You know this.
Hey, our number ones, they got Ultimate or Ultimo in the
Yeah,
name. So,
that's right.
Hey, if you're gonna be our favorite wrestler, put Ultimate or
Put
Ultimo in
Ultimate in
your
your name.
Put it in your shit, man. So tell me, like you got a tattoo of him, right?
I do.
So you gotta expound on this. You gotta
Okay.
explain.
Why I have that tattoo?
You got to. Well, you gotta explain why you got a tattoo and why Ultimate Warrior is your favorite. And I got something to give you after this.
Okay.
That has to do with Ultimate Warrior. So.
I don't know. Like you said earlier, like Ultimate Warrior, like he just was different from everybody else. Like also outside of, his professional like appearance and whatnot, in the locker room, they've always talked about him like really not messing with anybody, like talking to anybody. He always just kind of stayed himself, and in a sense, I think as a wrestler, that was kind of good for him because you didn't really know what he was gonna do. Like
It is.
Like you didn't know if he was gonna wild out or
No, Ultimate Warrior
he was
always going
wilding
wild out.
but, like, you didn't know, like, I feel like what his next move was. He just looked at you with those crazy eyes.
He did. And we were looking at the interviews and stuff.
Yeah.
And I still remember this as a kid when he was like, Hulk Hogan, I'm going to take the rocket ship up into the nosedive. You're like, what? Why are you going to crash it? And I got upset when I was looking. I was like, Ultimate Warrior, don't do it. You're not going to live.
My actually favorite Ultimate Warrior interview is him on Arsenio Hall.
Did he break character?
No,
He didn't, did he?
not at all.
Did he go out with his face paint?
He did, and like ran down those stairs too, like he was in the ring.
Dude,
Everybody should look up that interview.
We're gonna look at that after this because I think I vaguely remember this. So if you had two honorable mentions, now you're a wrestling, you obviously loved it. I loved it too. I'm trying to get back into it because when I'm home, I only have like Sundays, Mondays, and like Tuesday nights off normally. So, and that's when wrestling comes on Mondays. I actually started watching it a little bit because of
Yeah?
you. Yeah. So, and I'm like, yo, this is cool, man. This is cool. Because there's still some people I remember.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of new people.
There are.
All right. So, one of my favorites growing up was Jake the Snake Roberts.
Love Jake the Snake.
And I heard something on the Stone Cold podcast where he was like, yeah, Jake Snake Roberts like out back. And it's funny thinking about it because you don't think of it like this.
Yeah.
But he would be like out back. And he said, yeah, you would see his bag like moving around where the snakes were in it. But they had taken the venom out.
Yeah.
Okay. But I think they were boa constricted, so they didn't really have venom, right?
I mean,
But
they shouldn't.
They said that any kind of trace of it they took out.
Yeah.
And I don't know how true that is. I don't know anything about snakes, but I did hear that on that. So he goes, he would be outside, like he said, Jake Snake never worked out.
Yeah.
But he would just be outside, like, smoking beside, like, the air conditioning vent. And they'd be like, it's your turn. He'd be like, cool. And he'd pick his snakes up and walk in. I thought that was hilarious.
That is hilarious.
Is that not funny? It's like your
That
friend
is.
that you're like, hey, you need to get back into work. He's like, I'm on my smoke break.
Right.
What about you? What's one of your honorable mentions?
China.
Yeah.
Gotta give it up for
Like-
the eighth
like-
wonder of the world.
100%. Like, yeah. I
She
agree
was
with that.
badass. Like, she was actually the first ever female, like, wrestler to be an Intercontinental champion.
Yeah, she beat,
I Forget who it was at this point, but
She did a tape with like X-Pac, didn't she?
oh yeah,
That's cool, man.
One Night in China.
Was that what it was
That
called?
was what it was
That's
called.
hilarious. Is that really what it's called?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's funny. I think my other honorable mention. Man, I got so many guys that I like.
I know.
And you know, until me and you started talking, okay, I'm gonna name a couple guys. Okay, I liked Psycho Sid. Mm-hmm. I used to love him. I used to like Flying Brian Pillman.
Okay. Yep.
Okay, and you might not remember him, but he was
I do.
80s. But if I had one more, let me see. There's so many. Cause like when I was growing up, I liked the luchadors.
Yeah.
You remember Psychosis?
I don't.
La Parka?
What year are we talking about?
It's late
Or what
90s.
era?
Late 90s.
Maybe.
Okay. But the one that I want to throw on my honorable mention is... Yeah, man, I gotta say Macho Man Randy Savage.
Yeah.
Because he was just so like, okay, the Hulk, up until the point, okay, you body slam Andre the Giant. Macho Man Randy Savage was ripped. Like, this dude's like jacked.
Did you know
And
that?
he's like, you coming down here, talking to the Macho Man. You're like, dude.
Right.
But you know what I started thinking about? Did Macho Man and Ultimate Warrior ever feud?
No.
That would have been great. I mean,
No.
I don't know if they did, but wouldn't that
I
have
mean,
been
they
cool?
had like some matches. Actually,
That's like crazy versus crazy.
yeah, it is really.
We got to
no,
look
but
it
they
up.
didn't have a feud. They should have though.
But
really
they could have been. They
should
could have been. They could have been different eras too.
No, they were around the same time.
I think they were.
But I would say like around the time Ultimate Warrior was pretty big though is when Macho Man was having his feud with Hulk Hogan. Because remember Hulk Hogan was trying to steal Miss Elizabeth.
Yeah, you can't be taking.
Oh, you can't be taking Macho's
yeah, you can't
girl.
be taking Miss Liz, man. So that's crazy.
Yeah.
Who's your second honorable mention?
Second honorable mention. I mean, we talked about him earlier, Undertaker.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Undertaker.
Your picks are way better than mine.
Yeah.
So
Actually, Undertaker debuted when I was born.
wow.
Like a week or something before I was
I
born.
mean, that dude's been at it. He's been at it a long time,
He has.
and he looks the same.
He really does. It's kind of weird. Although I will say, as much as I love him, I think he needs to stop wearing the eyeliner underneath his eyes. It's just not a good look anymore. It just adds some years onto him.
It does. It does.
But he's still badass. I can't
He
hate on
is. Like,
him.
it's the Undertaker, man. Does he still do the tombstone?
Yeah, still rolls his eyes in the back.
I
of his
like
head.
Kane too. You remember Kane?
I didn't meet Kane last summer at SuperCon.
That's a big
'cause
man.
Dude wanted like $70 for a picture and autograph. And I'm sorry, I like Kane, but not $70.
Come on, man. Hey, Kane, man. What's up? Yeah,
He's
man.
probably
You know
trying to
what?
recover from his cancer.
40. 35.
Probably 40. I do 40.
I do 40 for Kane. 70? Come on, man.
But he had like walked past me at one point and I was like, hey Kane, and he like turned around and waved to me. I was like, yes.
Did him and Undertaker have the same finishing move?
Yeah. They're both
Because they
pile
were
drivers.
they were supposed to be brothers, right?
Yeah.
So so Undertaker was back from the dead, but Kane was his brother that was from like hell.
So
Am I wrong about that? Or is it?
So this is what it was.
Okay.
Because there was Paul Bearer. He was Undertaker's manager.
Yeah. And he was kick ass.
Ooh, yeah.
I love Paul Bearer. Paul Bearer? Like, what
Bearer
a
was-
cool name.
I know.